There's something quietly magical about winter. The crisp air, the soft hush of falling snow, the way the world seems to slow down, it all invites us to turn inward and reflect. But for many women over 60, this season can also bring an unexpected feeling of invisibility. You bundle up to stay warm, and somehow you feel like you're fading into the background. Your clothes keep you covered, but do they still reflect who you are? The truth is, style doesn't have an expiration date. You don't stop being a woman with taste, creativity, and presence just because the calendar says you've entered a new decade. Winter fashion is not just about layering to fight the cold. It's about layering your story, your spirit, and your elegance into every piece you wear. And yet, with so many trends coming and going, it can be hard to know what still works and what might be better left behind. Maybe you've asked yourself, can I still wear this? Am I trying too hard? Or worse, does anyone even notice me anymore? Here's what no one tells you. The most stylish women aren't trying to be younger. They're simply choosing what feels true, refined, and quietly powerful. So today, we're going to do more than talk about clothes. We're going to explore how to dress with intention, not to impress, but to express. Because you deserve to feel confident, warm, and radiant every time you step outside this winter. Let's take a gentle but bold step together into the 10 winter fashion trends that will elevate your wardrobe, and the 5 that it's finally time to let go of. Oversized silhouettes. Comfort that speaks confidence. Do you remember the first time you wore something oversized? Not because it was trendy, but because it simply felt good. Maybe it was a big, cozy sweater on a chilly morning, or a long coat that wrapped around you like a soft embrace. There's something deeply comforting about clothing that doesn't cling, doesn't restrict, doesn't demand. It just lets you be. In recent years, oversized fashion has gone from casual to quietly elegant. And it's not just a passing trend. It reflects a larger shift in how women are choosing to dress, with freedom, intention, and confidence. Especially for those of us in our 60s and beyond, oversized silhouettes are more than a style choice. They're a message. I've earned the right to move through the world comfortably and beautifully. Smooth transition here. But of course, there's a fine line between effortlessly chic and simply drowning in fabric. So, how do we wear oversized pieces without losing our shape? It's all about balance. Pair a chunky, oversized sweater with slim trousers or straight leg jeans to anchor your look, or style an oversized coat over a fitted knit dress, letting structure meet softness in the most elegant way. Layering is your best friend here. Try a lightweight turtleneck under a voluminous cardigan or belt a loose tunic to define your waist without sacrificing flow. Accessories also help. A structured handbag or bold earrings can add a focal point and polish the overall feel. Designers like Stella McCartney and The Row have embraced oversized silhouettes, not as sloppy or lazy, but as luxurious and intentional. And the best part? You don't need a high-end label to channel that same energy. All it takes is choosing pieces that feel soft, move with you, and allow you to breathe, literally and emotionally. So if you've ever felt like style meant squeezing into something tight to prove a point, maybe it's time to shift that point entirely. You don't have to fight your clothes. Let them honor you. Let's keep that gentle energy going as we explore the next winter trend that adds rich dimension and personality to your wardrobe. Bold textures. Bold textures. Let your wardrobe tell a richer story. There's a quiet luxury in texture, the way velvet catches the light, the way chunky knitwear hugs your body, the way faux fur makes you feel just a little more glamorous. For many women over 60, the beauty of texture isn't just visual, it's sensory. It reminds us that fashion can still be playful, expressive, and deeply personal. You've lived a rich life. Why shouldn't your clothing reflect that richness? Smooth transition here. This winter, one of the easiest ways to elevate your style without trying too hard is by playing with bold, intentional textures. Let's start with velvet. Soft, luminous, and timeless, velvet adds instant elegance to any outfit. Whether it's a deep burgundy blazer, a midnight blue dress, or even just a velvet scarf, this fabric whispers sophistication. It's luxurious without being loud, perfect for holiday dinners, gallery visits, or even an elevated lunch with friends. Next, consider faux fur. Ethical, warm, and undeniably chic. A faux fur coat or vest can transform a simple outfit into a statement. Imagine stepping out in a neutral turtleneck and slacks, topped with a cream faux fur jacket. Suddenly, you're not just dressed, you're glowing. And of course, we can't forget chunky knits. They're like wearable comfort food, cozy, forgiving, and full of texture. Look for high-quality yarns like alpaca or merino, and don't be afraid to go oversized. Pair a chunky knit sweater with tailored trousers or layer it over a long dress for contrast. What makes these textures so powerful is how they interact. Try mixing them. A velvet skirt with a thick knit top, a faux fur vest over a soft cashmere dress. You're creating layers not just of warmth, but of personality. And here's a secret. Bold textures also work wonders for the skin as it matures. Instead of highlighting imperfections, they bring focus to movement, light, and grace. So the next time you stand in front of your closet, ask yourself not just what color do I want to wear today, but what texture do I want to feel against my skin? What mood do I want to express? Now that we've explored the richness of fabric, let's move into another layer of winter beauty. The color palette that's redefining sophistication for the season ahead. Rich color palette. Wear the season with depth and grace. There's something magical about the way color feels in winter, not just how it looks, but how it feels. A deep burgundy coat can make you feel grounded. A rich forest green scarf, connected to nature. A pop of mustard yellow, like a little ray of sunshine on a cloudy day. As we grow older, color becomes less about following trends and more about expressing who we are inside. It becomes a language of energy, elegance, and self-celebration. Smooth transition here. This winter, the color palette is richer, deeper, and more expressive than ever. Gone are the days of dull grays and lifeless neutrals. This season invites you to wrap yourself in emotion through color. Let's start with deep burgundy. This wine-inspired shade is both regal and warm. Whether worn as a wool coat, a knit dress, or even a handbag, burgundy tells the world, I am rooted, I am present, I am powerful. Then there's forest green, a hue that speaks of calm strength. It flatters every skin tone and pairs beautifully with creams, browns, or even navy. Wearing forest green feels like standing tall among trees, quiet but strong, classic but alive. If you're feeling a bit more playful, try mustard yellow. It might sound bold at first, but this golden tone brings warmth and cheer to winter days. A mustard cardigan layered over neutrals or a scarf peeking from under your coat adds just the right touch of vibrancy. And of course, navy blue, the forever classic. It's polished, slimming, and endlessly versatile. Swap out black for navy, and suddenly everything feels softer, more refined, yet just as chic. These colors aren't just flattering, they're forgiving. They catch light differently. They lift the spirit. Here's a beautiful tip. You don't need to drench yourself in color. Sometimes just a hint is enough. A glove, a belt, a statement earring. Let the colors speak, not shout. And if you're feeling adventurous, explore color blocking. Pair mustard with burgundy, forest green with navy. These combinations add contrast, drama, and personality while staying deeply elegant. So as the winter skies grow pale, Let your wardrobe be the canvas for something bold, warm, and personal. Because your style should never fade with the light. Let's now shift from color to silhouette and explore the trend that's turning heads this winter. Statement outerwear that's both practical and breathtaking. Statement outerwear. Let your coat speak before you do. In winter, your coat is the first thing the world sees. Before you say a word, before you smile or sit down, your outerwear has already made an impression. So why not let it say something beautiful? For women over 60, style isn't about shouting. It's about choosing pieces that speak with grace, authority, and a touch of quiet drama. And this season, outerwear is taking center stage, not just to keep you warm, but to express who you are. Smooth transition here. Forget the idea that coats have to be bulky or boring. Today's outerwear is anything but. It's expressive, sculptural, even a little daring. And it might just be your favorite fashion piece this winter. Let's begin with the puffer jacket reimagined. This once purely practical item is now a style statement. Think oversized silhouettes with cinched waists, bold colors like emerald or ivory, and even unexpected textures like matte velvet or high-shine finishes. A belted puffer worn with high-waisted trousers and sleek boots, you'll look like you just stepped out of a fashion editorial without even trying. Now let's talk about capes. Yes, capes. They've made a stunning comeback. Draped over your shoulders, a well-cut cape brings instant elegance and movement to your outfit. Choose one in wool or cashmere, maybe with a subtle pattern or jewel-toned hue. It's timeless, regal, and surprisingly practical. And of course the trench coat, but not the beige one you've had for years. This season, trenches are showing up in luxurious fabrics like velvet or leather, and in striking colors like navy, oxblood, or deep olive. With clean lines and polished details, they transition effortlessly from day to night. No matter which coat you choose, remember, balance is key. If your outerwear is bold, keep what's underneath simple. A fitted sweater, tailored pants, minimalist boots. Let the coat carry the spotlight. But if you're feeling playful, don't be afraid to add layers of texture and contrast beneath it. A faux fur collar peeking out, or a patterned scarf adding flair. Outerwear is not just about protection, it's a reflection of how you feel about yourself and how you want to be seen. So the next time you reach for a coat, ask, is this just keeping me warm, or is it telling my story? And now that we've wrapped ourselves in warmth and style, let's shift towards something softer, more soulful. A return to the feminine freedom of the Bohemian revival. Bohemian revival, a soft return to freedom and femininity. There's a special kind of beauty that comes with age, a quiet knowing, a deeper sense of self, and a boldness that whispers instead of shouts. This winter, that spirit is finding its way back into fashion through the soft, flowing, effortlessly expressive charm of bohemian style. You may remember the boho look from decades past, flared sleeves, flowing fabrics, earthy tones, but this time it's more refined, more mature. It's less about rebellion and more about reconnection. Smooth transition here. Reconnection with creativity, with comfort, and with that younger version of you who once dressed for joy, not for rules. Let's start with flowing maxi dresses. You don't need to pack them away just because it's cold. Layer them with cozy knits or a long cardigan, and you've got a look that's both warm and wonderfully romantic. Look for dresses in rich jewel tones, deep plum, burnt orange, sapphire, or with soft floral or paisley prints that bring softness to winter's edge. Then there's texture and layering, a thick, oversized cardigan draped over a long sleeve maxi, a pair of slouchy suede boots beneath a flowing hemline, a chunky scarf wrapped around a softly tousled updo. It's comfort, movement, and style in one harmonious flow. And what's boho without accessories? Vintage-inspired bags with fringe or embroidery, layered necklaces, gold, beaded, or both. Big rings, soft leather belts, and earrings that dance when you walk. Each piece adds character, not clutter. The goal isn't to match perfectly. It's to tell a story through contrast, through texture, through the feeling it gives you. The Bohemian Revival is perfect for women over 60 because it celebrates what's real. It's not about shaping your body into something it's not. It's about letting your clothes move with you, breathe with you, reflect the freedom you've earned. You don't need to wear tight lines to be taken seriously. You don't need to wear black to be elegant. You don't need to be minimalist to be modern. You just need to feel like you. And sometimes feeling like you starts with a dress that sways, a sweater that wraps, a necklace that reminds you of a trip long ago. Now that we've touched on freedom and flow, let's ground our style again with a return to the classics, timeless patterns that never go out of style, no matter your age. Timeless patterns, classics that always find their way back. There's a quiet comfort in things that never go out of style. A favorite scarf you've had for years, a coat that's been with you through many winters, a pattern that feels familiar, and yet somehow always fresh. This season, two timeless prints are stepping back into the spotlight, plaid and animal prints. They're bold without being loud, classic without being boring, and more importantly, they work beautifully at every age. Smooth transition here. If you've ever hesitated to try prints, thinking they're too young or too loud, now is the perfect time to reconsider. When chosen thoughtfully, patterns can become your signature, an expression of style that's entirely your own. Let's start with plaid, a pattern that instantly evokes warmth, nostalgia, and refinement. From tartan coats to checked skirts, plaid brings structure and personality to any winter outfit. Try pairing a plaid wool coat with a solid turtleneck and dark denim for a cozy, polished look. Or go playful with a plaid midi skirt and knee-high boots. A mix of classic and modern that flatters without trying too hard. Then there's animal print, particularly leopard and zebra this season. For some, animal prints feel intimidating, but in reality, they're one of the easiest ways to add personality to a winter wardrobe. A leopard print scarf with a black coat, a pair of zebra print flats with an all-neutral outfit, or even a faux fur animal print coat that becomes the centerpiece of your look. These patterns say, I know who I am, with elegance and a wink. The key to wearing patterns over 60 isn't to tone them down, it's to balance them. Mix prints with solids. Let one patterned piece take the lead while the rest of your outfit supports it. This approach creates harmony, not chaos. And don't be afraid to layer patterns with textures. A plaid skirt with a chunky knit, an animal print blouse under a wool blazer. These combinations add dimension, depth, and visual interest without ever feeling overdone. Remember, style at this age isn't about rules, it's about resonance. Wear what speaks to you, what lifts your mood, what reflects your seasoned confidence. And if patterns speak your language this winter, listen closely. Next, let's take this love of elegance and turn it into something even more practical. Fashion that doesn't just look good, but also works for your life. With functional fashion. Functional fashion, because style should also make sense. There's a kind of elegance that doesn't need to be explained. It's in the way your coat moves as you walk, the ease with which you slip your hands into deep, warm pockets, the quiet satisfaction of knowing you look good and feel completely at ease. At this stage in life, we've earned the right to prioritize both beauty and practicality. We've worn the shoes that pinched, the dresses we couldn't breathe in, the handbags that hurt our shoulders. And now, we want clothing that works with us, not against us. Smooth transition here. That's the heart of functional fashion. A trend that's not only stylish, but smart. because the most powerful outfit is one that helps you live your day fully, comfortably, and confidently. Let's begin with the modern cargo pant. Yes, cargo. But this isn't the slouchy, shapeless version from the early 2000s. This season, cargo pants are tailored, flattering, and surprisingly chic. Think high-waisted fits, tapered legs, and deep pockets that don't add bulk. Pair them with a fitted turtleneck and ankle boots for a look that's polished but effortless. Next up, the boiler suit, a one-and-done wonder. Easy to throw on, endlessly versatile, and incredibly flattering when styled right. Choose one in a structured fabric like twill or corduroy, in shades like deep green, navy, or camel. Add a statement belt to cinch the waist, and you've got a look that's clean, modern, and functional from head to toe. And don't underestimate the power of strategic layering. A sleek thermal top under a blouse, a light quilted vest beneath your coat. These small decisions make a big difference, keeping you warm without the bulk. Accessories, too, can elevate functionality. A crossbody bag that leaves your hands free, gloves with touchscreen fingertips, boots with hidden zippers for easy on and off. Functional fashion reminds us that elegance doesn't have to be delicate. You can look composed without being confined. You can move freely, confidently, without ever compromising your sense of self. Because the older we get, the more sacred our comfort becomes, and when comfort and style walk hand in hand, that's when true confidence begins to shine. Now that we've embraced fashion that serves your everyday life, let's shift gears just a bit and step into a softer, more indulgent space. Elevated loungewear that proves comfort can be absolutely luxurious. Elevated loungewear, where comfort meets quiet luxury. There's a certain kind of joy in slipping into something soft, not just because it's warm or cozy, but because it feels like home, on your skin, in your spirit. For women over 60, home has become more than a place. It's a feeling. And the clothes we wear, even within our own four walls, deserve to reflect that same sense of care, refinement, and ease. Smooth transition here. That's where elevated loungewear comes in. It's not just pajamas with better marketing. It's a whole new way to honor yourself, even on the quietest days. Let's start with matching sets made from soft, luxe materials like cashmere or brushed cotton. These aren't the sweats you wore in your 30s to clean the house. They're beautifully cut, color-coordinated ensembles that make you feel effortlessly elegant. Try a dusty rose cashmere sweater with matching joggers. Suddenly, a walk to the mailbox or a Zoom call feels elevated without any extra effort. Then there are tailored joggers. Yes, joggers, but refined. Look for styles with clean seams, slightly tapered legs, and even pleats or cuffed hems. Pair them with a silk blouse or structured blazer for a polished look that says, "I'm comfortable, but I still care." Layering is also key to this look. A long belted cardigan over a soft knit tank and wide leg lounge pants. A cozy wrap draped around your shoulders as you sip morning tea. A delicate gold necklace resting against a crew neck cashmere top. Each layer says, "I dress for me, not for a schedule, not for anyone's approval." And don't forget about shoes and accessories. A sleek pair of loafers, a structured tote, even a bold lipstick can transform a loungewear set into something unexpectedly polished. The beauty of elevated loungewear lies in its dual purpose. It lets you relax and rise without changing outfits. It says, "I can be at ease and still be stunning." Because aging with grace isn't about slowing down, it's about choosing what makes you feel most alive, even if that's a soft knit in a shade that makes your eyes sparkle. Now that we've found elegance in stillness, let's revisit the past with fresh eyes and explore how vintage fashion is making a powerful, sustainable comeback. Vintage revival, style that tells your story back to you. There's something undeniably powerful about clothing that's lived a life. A dress with a history, a blazer that carries the confidence of another decade, a pair of earrings that once lit up another woman's evening, and now light up yours. Vintage fashion is more than a trend this winter. It's a revival, not just of style but of spirit. And for women over 60, it's a homecoming. Smooth transition here, because while the fashion world cycles through the decades, you've lived them. You've seen trends come and go. But now you get to choose which ones to bring back, on your own terms. Let's begin with high-waisted trousers, a signature from the 70s that's as flattering today as ever. They define the waist, elongate the legs, and bring instant polish to any outfit. Pair them with a tucked-in turtleneck or a cropped jacket for that elegant meets effortless vibe. Next, try an oversized blazer in a classic houndstooth or tweed. This piece is all about structure and strength, perfect over a flowy dress, a pair of jeans, or even lounge pants for a modern mix. It says, "I know my worth, and I wear it well." Vintage-inspired dresses are also making a graceful return. Look for puff sleeves, A-line silhouettes, or playful prints like florals or polka dots. These designs add softness, movement, and a whisper of nostalgia to your winter wardrobe. And then there are the accessories, retro sunglasses, bold belts, layered pearls or beaded necklaces that bring focus and flair. Each one tells a story of who you were, who you've become, and who you still dare to be. But perhaps the most beautiful part of the vintage revival is its connection to sustainability. Choosing pre-loved pieces isn't just stylish, it's thoughtful. It's fashion with a conscience. By embracing vintage, you're honoring the past and protecting the future. Whether you thrift, borrow, or rediscover something in your own closet, adding vintage to your look reminds the world and yourself that beauty never goes out of style. So wear that brooch, pull out that 80s wool coat, mix the old with the new, because at this age, you don't follow trends, you curate them. And now that we've honored the richness of history, let's finish our winter transformation with something bold, joyful, and totally personal. Statement accessories that elevate everything. Statement accessories, the finishing touch that feels like you. You. Sometimes it's the smallest things that say the most. A scarf draped just so, a pair of earrings that catch the light, a bold hat that turns heads in the most elegant way. For women over 60, accessories aren't afterthoughts. They're signatures. They're the exclamation point at the end of your outfit. They say, "I'm here, I still sparkle, and I'm still having fun." Smooth transition here. This winter, statement accessories are not just trendy, they're transformative. They allow you to play, to express, to elevate even the simplest outfit into something unforgettable. Let's begin with the oversized scarf, not only warm, but also a canvas for color, texture, and personality. Wrap it loosely over your shoulders for a casual, chic feel, or knot it high to frame your face. Choose scarves in bold prints, rich jewel tones, or even textured knits. You'll be amazed how one piece can brighten your whole look and your day. Next up, hats. From wide brim felt to playful beanies, hats this season are bold and beautiful. A burgundy fedora paired with a trench coat, instant sophistication. A colorful knit cap with your lounge set. Suddenly, casual becomes curated. Don't forget chunky boots, both stylish and weather-friendly. Look for unique details like buckles, zippers, or contrasting soles. Pair them with flowy skirts for an unexpected edge, or with tailored trousers for balance. And of course, jewelry, but not the kind that blends in. Think layers of pearls, oversized cuffs, cocktail rings, or artful earrings that dance when you move. Not because you want attention, but because you deserve to be seen. Accessories allow you to explore without commitment. You can wear all black and let your scarf do the talking, or keep your outfit simple and let a vintage bag steal the scene. They're perfect for experimentation, expression, and elegance, no matter your mood, and perhaps most importantly, they remind you that style can be fun, that even in the quietest seasons of life, you're allowed to play with color, with shape, with surprise. So as you wrap up in your coat, slip on your boots, and head out into the chill, don't forget to add one last thing, something that feels bold, something that feels beautiful, something that feels like you. Now that we've explored 10 inspiring trends to keep this winter, it's time to let go of what no longer serves you. Let's talk about 5 styles that are best left behind, with grace and no regrets. Letting go. 5 winter trends that no longer serve you. There's a quiet kind of power in knowing when to say goodbye. Not just to people or places, but to styles that no longer reflect who you are. As we evolve, so should our wardrobes. Not because we're chasing trends, but because we've outgrown certain versions of ourselves, including the ones we once wore with pride. Smooth transition here. So as we welcome new textures, colors, and silhouettes this winter, let's also create space by letting go of a few trends that may no longer serve us. Not with judgment, but with grace. 1. Skinny jeans. They've had their moment, and for many of us, it was a long one. But today's fashion embraces ease, movement, and freedom. Skinny jeans can feel restrictive and, frankly, a little dated. Trade them for straight leg or wide leg styles that flatter without squeezing. You'll feel more comfortable and look more modern. 2. Micro and mini skirts. These might look fun in a magazine, but in real life, especially in winter, they offer little warmth and even less practicality. Instead, try midi or maxi skirts in rich fabrics. Pair them with boots and a chunky sweater, and you'll look chic and seasonally appropriate. 3. Overly complicated layering. You don't need 5 layers to stay warm. In fact, too much layering can make you feel bulky, overwhelmed, and hidden. Simplify with smart, strategic pieces. A thermal base layer, a soft knit, a tailored coat. Less effort, more elegance. 4. Camo prints. While they've had their fashion moments, camo prints now feel a bit tired and overly casual. Instead, explore patterns that feel more elevated and personal. Florals, abstract geometrics, subtle animal prints. Choose prints that mirror your story, not someone else's trend cycle. 5. Outdated athleisure. Comfort is essential, yes, but not all athleisure pieces are created equal. Oversized hoodies and shapeless joggers can sometimes feel more frumpy than flattering. Upgrade to elevated loungewear. Think cashmere sets, polished joggers, or tailored knits. It's still cozy, just with intention. These changes aren't about rules. They're about refinement, about choosing style that supports who you are now, not who you used to be. Because in letting go, we make space for clarity, confidence, and quiet reinvention. And as we close this journey through winter style, let's return to where we began, with a reminder that fashion is more than fabric. It's a reflection of your light. Conclusion: your style, your season. Remember how we began this conversation, with the quiet ache that winter sometimes brings, that subtle feeling of fading into the background, of bundling up more to hide than to express. But here's what's beautiful: you don't have to disappear. Not in this season. Not in this chapter of your life. Not ever. Your style is not about impressing anyone else. It's about honoring who you've become and choosing pieces that reflect the wisdom, depth, and elegance you've earned. Smooth transition here, from oversized silhouettes and bold textures to rich colors, practical pieces, and accessories that shine. We've explored how winter fashion can be a celebration, not a compromise. And in letting go of the trends that no longer serve you, you've made space for something far more meaningful: clothes that feel like you, This is your season to be seen, not as the woman you used to be, but as the radiant, refined, and quietly powerful woman you are now. You don't need permission to feel beautiful. You don't need approval to feel relevant. You already are, simply by showing up, fully yourself. So as you stand in front of your closet tomorrow morning, I hope you remember this. Every outfit is an opportunity to tell your story, to reflect your mood, to feel alive. And if something no longer fits who you've become, don't be afraid to let it go. Thank you for spending this time with me. If this video resonated with you, I invite you to subscribe, leave a comment, or share it with someone who deserves to feel just as beautiful. Because style may change with the seasons, but you are timeless.